So,
How are you?
I'm very good. I'm,
Are you?
yeah, I'm really awkward though. Trying to overcome my.
Indeed. Well said.
All right. So, I guess we wanted to talk about our experience getting chased by drug dealers as kids to work
Yeah.
through this childhood trauma.
Yeah, which is not where this video was originally going.
It's what happens when you take a car ride. It's a very dangerous thing to do because you have all this time to think, and then I think you can discover things about yourself that you didn't previously know.
Yeah, and about your best friend too, because we both learned much about each other, and our original goal was go to the thrift store, and we ended up doing what we call car therapy. So that's what
Yes.
this is.
Yes. So, I guess maybe we should set the setting for the events. So, like, we always went to, like, our church's youth group what was this, Wednesday?
It was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. We probably go Wednesdays and Fridays usually. But this was on a Wednesday. And
We were, what were we, maybe 13, 12 and 13? No,
yeah.
we were 13, 14, I think.
Yeah, I think I was 13, you were 14.
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, and we had this thing where we'd go straight from school to the church, and then we'd have like an hour or two just to like kill time, and we usually spent it goofing off, chugging sodas or doing something like that,
Yeah,
right?
and we ended up, or in the case of this particular day, sometimes we would get there, grab a soda, and we would just go and walk out because I don't know if you specifically said this, but we lived on, our church was on an abandoned Air Force base. And at the time of this filming of this video, I think the, what do you call it? The, what is it called when you commit a crime and you wait for the...
The statute of limitations.
Yeah, the statute of limitations for trespassing has passed at this point, I think. So we can share this. So basically, we would go out onto this abandoned Air Force base, George Air Force Base. You could look it up, and we would just kind of wander through because it legit looked like Zombieville.
Yeah,
right.
It's big too. It's like
Huge.
It's huge. It's like hundreds of houses and apartments and a hospital, a full-sized hospital, all like abandoned.
Left to the elements, and just
Trees growing, bushes growing.
yeah, people
It's
just
creepy.
every window in the whole base is broken.
Yeah.
People tearing out wires.
We've
and
broken a
plumbing.
few of those windows.
Yes. Again, statute of limitations on vandalism.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so on this particular day, we were doing our routine, and actually our friend Josh was with us for the, which was a rare occasion, but he was with us, and we decided to go.
Bad idea.
So we decided to go out there again, like we always did. And on our
Know
way,
who you invite
Yeah.
to go do illegal stuff.
so we ended up on our way back. We did our full loop, went all the way to some apartments, and went all the way back. And on our way back to the church, we saw a truck go by us, and we wanted to know what the truck was doing. The truck didn't see us, or the people in the truck
We were in
didn't.
like a building, right?
Yeah, and so we decided to follow, and which was our first mistake. And we followed, and they pulled up to, and they were pulling a flatbed trailer, pulled up to one of these houses, right? And these two dudes get out and start taking out like Home Depot buckets full of who knows what. But we could tell something sketchy's going on because not much is going on an abandoned Air Force base.
Yeah.
So when you see people pulling up like that, you know something's up. Yeah.
But like, it's kind of sketchy to drive a truck that has a trailer with a bunch of stuff in it, like onto an abandoned base. So like, my guard was like already up when I saw that, but like at the same time, what are those people doing?
Yeah.
So I was
And
like,
you were much more cautious than either Josh or me.
Yeah, I'm always more skittish, I'd say.
Yeah.
Towards like, I'm more conflict and death adverse than certainly Josh.
As maybe we all should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that was like raising some alarm bells. But then when they got out and then started to like take stuff into the building.
Yeah, we were like, okay, what's going? We immediately knew. We were like, okay, this is drug stuff. Like something
illegal is going on.
We were like, okay, they're going in there to. My thought was they're going in there to make drugs, and so we had gone into the house across the street from the one they were in, and we're watching from something that was probably once the master bedroom of that house.
Yeah, there was a big window that had been completely smashed out, but it was a large window.
Yeah. Well, no. So that was the living room.
Oh.
Yeah, and so we had to. So there was. So here is like the master bedroom, one of the bedrooms, and then a big window in the living room, and then another bedroom over here.
Yeah.
And so we were in this room over here, watching through a smaller window, watching what was going on. And as me and Josh were taking turns peeking up over the windowsill, looking to go see what was going on, Carson's like, "Guys, I think we should leave."
Yeah. And then I repeated myself once or twice or 3 times. I was like, it's getting to a point where like we just need to get out of there.
Yeah.
And then
we decided to listen to Carson. We left, and we, like I said, we're in this room, big window, and we're like, we got to get out this way because we couldn't. There's no window to crawl out of here, but we knew that if we could get across the living room to this room, we could crawl out the back window. And so each of us took our turns, like sneaking past that window, and trying not to step on glass or anything because we're 40 feet away from these guys in essentially open air. And we all make it across, and then Josh decides to turn around, and he wants to get one last look. So we're all in here about to make our escape, and he goes back into this room, not sneaky, stands dead,
crushing glass,
stepping on glass. We all worked really hard to get to stealth our way through this living room.
And we thought we were on the same page.
And we all did. I just turned around and Josh was gone.
Yeah.
And he stands dead center in the middle of the living room, not hunched over, just standing in the middle of this window, just
like
watching,
chilling like you do, just like
watching drug dealers
or sketchy
makers,
people at all. In an abandoned warehouse, in an abandoned house.
Yeah, and and so you had already jumped out. As our fearless leader.
Very fearful leader.
So he had jumped out of the window and gone the back way. I was about to jump out the window, and Josh...
Isn't it funny that the most fearful person is the one leading? This is kind of like a funny
that's
situation,
how it works.
Right?
Yeah, that's funny how that works out.
But you say.
But yeah, well, so then Josh just comes in, and I'm about to step through the window, and Josh comes in there and he's saying, they saw me, but he's whispering it so low that I can't understand what he's saying. I'm hearing their army, and we're on a military base, so I was like, oh, is he saying like they belong here or something along those lines? But he's panicking, and he like pole vaults out the window ahead of me, and I was like, oh shoot, so I jump out of the window too, and as we start running, they just start screaming at us.
But but the way we're situated, we have to run deeper into the abandoned universe.
They're in the
they're
they're in the middle between us and our objective.
Yeah, they're in between us and like the street we need to be to.
Yeah,
like to be out of the houses, and we have to like run deeper into like scarier
Sketchville.
houses. Yeah, with roads and everything.
Zombieville.
But yeah, they basically start chasing us. And there was 2 guys. One guy was on foot, like screaming at us, and then the other guy hopped in the truck and was driving it all around looking for us. And we'd run, and we kind of like thought we lost them. And then I turned the corner, and he was literally like 20 feet from me.
Yeah, because he was like, we turned because it was the way the houses are built. It's like a row, like one long roof, really, like, and it's just a bar of a building, and it's just separated into different houses.
Yeah.
And we were coming around the corner of one of those, and you just saw this dude, you just turned around.
I just
sprinted,
took off. I didn't say anything. It was like the biggest like jumps, more than any like adrenaline dump you'll get from a jump scare in like a movie. Like I just turned the corner and like Slender Man, and then I just turned and ran.
And I didn't know what was going on. I just because you were right ahead of me. So by the time you had done a 180 and were running in the other direction, I was just rounding the corner as well, and I saw the guy. He was wearing like a blue flannel. He was kind of a skinnier guy. The chunkier dude was in the truck.
Yeah, of course.
And I saw him, and I started running. Naturally. So I just started running after you, and then Josh, I don't know, at some point turned around and started following us too. He was filming it the whole time, and the guy starts like throwing stuff at us. He's obviously out of shape because he stopped chasing us after like
but he chased us for a
5.5 seconds.
Though. He chased us for a good bit.
He didn't run after us for too long.
Yeah. But like, the dude in the truck was the scary one, though.
We didn't know if he had a gun.
Yeah, like
we
and he was driving through like every single street, like looking for us, and we were like hopping building to building, trying to make our way to this like hospital, because next to the abandoned hospital is like a kind of like a major abandoned road, and you can get that from that road to an actual road where they probably wouldn't murder you on.
Yeah, because there's a slight chance that somebody might be driving by at that moment.
So we were like house hopping from house to house, and
like going through these busted down walls, like we're crawling through holes in
we
the wall,
literally-
so we don't have to
literally-
walk out of the building.
yeah, like literally like what you would do in like The Last of Us kind of thing.
Yeah, for real. Like that's really what it was.
Yeah, and we got to like one point, and we just hunkered down in the building, and like the car was driving by, and you heard them like shouting and everything. We were just like, please Lord, don't let us die.
We legit were praying that we would not die.
Yeah, that was one of the scariest times of my like entire life. Like I legit like we all thought we were like could get killed, like, and we probably could have.
We filmed ourselves saying like our names,
like evidence,
what time
like,
it was,
found our
what was
bodies.
going on, because we were afraid that like if we got caught and somebody found our phone, then they would know what happened to us. And from that point, we actually reached that main road that you were talking about, and we were okay after that. We just kind of like we got to this main road, knew we were safe, and just kind of moseyed on into our church and just were like, okay, time for Bible study, I guess, and just kind of like suppressed it, like you were saying.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, you don't really want to like cause a stir and be a weirdo when you're like, oh, we just got. Plus, you didn't want to tell anyone that we were
In the house, these
breaking
houses.
into the houses.
Yeah, because we'll get scolded for being almost killed.
Scolded?
Yeah.
Is it? You say scolded or scalded?
Scalded is when you get serious burns.
Scolded.
Scolded is when somebody tells you you're a naughty boy. Yeah.
That might be a little bit different scenario. Okay, but yeah.
So we didn't want to get scolded or scalded,
Speak for yourself.
and
Okay.
cut.
Okay.
No, it's okay. And then so basically the next day, like we went to church, school, and like I had a legit panic attack. Like I didn't know that I was having a panic attack, but I just remember sitting in class and like I remember my hands were shaking, and like when I went outside of class, I was just like trying to chill myself out, and I didn't know what was going on. And I kind of, when I got home that night, I told my mom what had happened the day before and in class, and she was like, "Oh, you had a panic attack, like that's really scary. I'm sorry that happened to you," kind of thing, like being very sympathetic. And then, like I told you, she was kind of like, something similar happened to me. If I'd known that had happened to you, I would have taken you out of school. I would have brought you home today. And I was like, dang it, I didn't even get to take a day after school. I didn't even get that out of this.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Yeah, that was the biggest tragedy of all.
Yeah,
really.
And for me, like, I didn't even know how to like think about what happened, because like I'm someone who's like always looking at a situation as it can go like its worst, and then the worst happened, like right up to the worst, right? Like I guess the worst is like getting shot and dying.
Yeah.
And then probably a step down would be getting shot, and then a step down would be getting stabbed, and then maybe run over,
I think shot and stabbed can be on the same plane.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They're shot by what? Stabbed by what?
They're yeah. That's true. They're kind of parallel, but getting run over, maybe just getting the crap beat out of you, and then
getting chased and psychologically damaged.
Getting chased and the veiled threat of your life.
Yeah, and it was like, I feel like it was kind of like,
yeah,
we could have died, but we didn't, and so we didn't. Well, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but like I was like, I don't have a right to feel like I could have died because I didn't die.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not allowed to feel really bad about it.
But if it had gone one step further, then we could have gotten shot.
Yeah.
Like if the guy in the truck found us, like what kind of meth dealers don't have a gun with them?
Yeah.
A fair point, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I did not know how to like feel about it, so I kind of just like didn't process it until we went on a drive today.
Yeah.
And then there's something weird about taking a drive just to drive with your best friend. It's interesting.
Yeah.
You just come up with. Sometimes it's like it literally takes years to formulate your thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I mean, for us, it was kind of like up to this point, it's been like, oh, remember that wacky Wednesday we had where we almost died?
We kind of just like sit there and like, we don't really talk about it. We're like, yeah, dude.
Like, wasn't that
fun?
Yeah,
that was, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And we just move on.
Yeah, and then now we're just kind of like, holy crap. Like, can we talk about this for a sec? Like,
and then
we almost died.
Also, like, having this perspective of not being a, 12-year-old,
Yeah.
You're also like, oh, yeah, people do get shot over drugs a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it was quite an interesting day. But, I mean, not a lot of people get experiences like, maybe a lot of people do, actually. Maybe it turns out a lot worse, and that's why we don't hear about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people get shot all the time.
Yeah, especially here.
Yeah. Victimville.
Yeah. So it's like our church was on Zombieville, and then just outside of Zombieville is Sketchville, USA. Everything is really sketchy.
Yeah.
So
all the sketch bleeds into Zombieville.
Yeah, that's like the refuge of. That's like
the refuge of the refuse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go on the list. Let's go on the list. Stick that one. Let's engrave that on a sign and hang it up there to be graffitied upon and defaced.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the psychological revelation that we had today while we went to go to the thrift store.
And also a great story about getting chased by drug dealers. I mean, who doesn't like that?
So I think the moral of this whole story is trespassing is wrong, kids. Don't do it. And if you're on the other side of the spectrum and you're making drugs, don't chase children who may witness what you're doing.
Because they don't care what you're making. They
don't
also
care.
don't know.
They don't know. By the time they do know, they're, the problem solved. Like, you don't have to deal with the ramifications of them tattling on you. Because really, they're just going to be happy to be alive.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching, if you watched.
If you didn't watch,
thank you. Because you saved us the embarrassment.
Yeah. So this was kind of our first video. We have another video in the works and realized it wasn't the best video to be the first one. So we're like, oh, let's do kind of an intro video. Yeah. And our intro video ended up being like a deep psychological dive into our past.
We were literally just going to go drive.
You're welcome.
We were literally just going to go drive and see some cool things, and then it turned into this like revelation about our childhood trauma. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe because nobody else is.
Yeah. First person to subscribe will get a personal thing, unless it's like your other channel or one of our spouses or parents. They don't count. First person that's not related to us to subscribe, they do count. They're important people, but they're not in this context. So first person to subscribe will get a personal thank you, and it won't mean much to you
because we're really groveling here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Please subscribe.
All right.
All right. Bye.